And welcome back to episode 3 of Sky Factory 2.5. And I've done a little bit of cleanup here, and I want to get into working towards a smeltery. But there was one little modification that I wanted to make to the cobble generator, and it's a simple one, but I wanted to show it to you because it makes it much more efficient. And that's just removing this this block here. If you do that, this will come down and actually form 8 cobble as opposed to 4. So you can then just mine here with vein miner, and you get 8 at a time. Very handy. Speeds things up quite a bit. So that's how we're going to do it. And I'm not going to be doing a lot of that on camera, but first thing I want to do before we take a quick break to do some mining is I want to get Tinker's Construct going. And that's just going to be so I can get some better tools. So I'm going to go ahead and create that stuff now. And I've got the wooden stuff for it. It should be pretty easy. So let's just do a basic set of tables, a pattern chest. We're going to go through that stuff right now. So we're going to need a bunch of patterns. So let's get those handy. And so that'll make plenty of patterns. And then basically every type of wood object that you can get creates... Oops, yeah, I'm going to need a crafting table. So we'll do a crafting table with a pattern on top. And that'll give the tool station. Then part builder. Then stencil table. And let's do a pattern chest as well. So make a chest. And there we go. And we'll lay those out. Notice we got the book too, so let us, and there's one I'm missing, but I can't think of what it is right now. I'll get it when we lay it down. So tool station, part builder, we'll put our chest here, we'll put our stencil table here. Oh, the other one's just the crafting table. Yeah, it's not really necessary, but it's nice to have, so I knew I was forgetting something. And I always forget this one, because all you have to do is take the crafting table and put it in here, and it becomes Tinker's Construct version of a crafting table. And that's, we'll just put it on the end. We'll put a chest on that as well, because it shows an inventory. So it's kind of handy for that, so do it this way. And then you can see your chest inventory in there. Let's do one more. It's just good to have storage nearby because you're doing a lot of work here. So, oops, got a double in that corner. And now if I put this over here, you can see double chest inventory here, and that's handy. So that's good. Once we start sifting, we'll use that. And let's go ahead and use the stencil table to create our basics. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here because most people have seen this. But I'm going to make a pickaxe head. I'm going to make a tool rod. And I'm going to make a mattock. So I want to get an axe head and a shovel. I'm also going to need a binding. So all those patterns are going to need to be there for what we want to do first. I'm probably not going to do... I use the mattock as a weapon, a shovel, and an axe, and then I use the pickaxe as a pickaxe, obviously. So those are really the only ones I'm going to use to start, and then I'm just going to drop those in the pattern chest. And then once I get some flint from all the sifting we're going to be doing of gravel, which I'll be doing off camera for the most part, then I'll use that to make flint tools. So once we get to that point, we'll do this. But I wanted to get this in place for that, and I wanted to get the enhancements done to the cobble generator because we're going to be getting ready for making a smeltery, and to make a smeltery we have to make grout. So the grout recipe is lots of gravel, sand, and clay. Since we have everything we need to do that, I'm going to make a bunch of this and cook it up into stuff, the seared bricks for making our first smeltery. And I will probably go ahead and after we do that we'll work towards making a couple full-size smelteries. Do a lot of that work off camera, but maybe build them on camera. So we'll take a break now. I'm going to go get the gravel, all the sand, all that stuff, and create the grout from that and cook it up. And then I will be back when it's time to build the smeltery. So we will see you soon. All right, a quick jump back real quick. We're just wanted to point something else out here. I've been gathering a little bit, and now is a good point where you can start using your heavy sieves, because it's very easy to get lots of gravel and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up compressing my gravel, and so I'm going to go here, and I'm going to use this to get some basics like some iron, so I can make a bucket, because I got rid of my bucket when I was making the cobble generator. Because when you use the clay bucket on lava, it disappears. So I'm going to be using compressed gravel, and then I'm going to be able to cook up the basic. First of all, I'll get flint. So when we get back, I'll probably have the flint to make those tools, and we'll do that when we're actually making the smeltery. And I've also got all the metals coming in, so I'll be able to do a bucket and your basic Minecraft stuff. So I just wanted to update you on that while I'm doing that, and I will be back shortly for the smeltery. Alright, we're back, and I've got most of the building materials for the smeltery ready to go. So let's go ahead and get started building our platform. We're going to go over this way. So I've added a little grass here. As you can see, this is going to be our animal spawning area. And soon I'm planning to build like a little brick house or something over here. So this will be like my living area, and this is going to be my work area. So if I want to like go day to night, I'll build that soon. And I'm cooking up some bricks for that right now. Probably make a little brick quaint hut over there with a bed in it. And but for now, we're going to work on the smeltery. So let's go this way. And what I think I'm going to end up doing, right now I'm using cobble. Since I've got so much of it, but I want to get to the point soon where I'm using my final building materials, because I hate doing temporary building. So I'm thinking long term, I'm going to have 3 smelteries total. I'm going to have 1 for alloying and 2 for making our normal bricks or our normal metals. So what I'm going to do is come out with my platform here, and I will build my my first smeltery, and then my other 2 are going to come back behind them and sort of make this triangle shaped building that contains all 3 of them. That's going to be long term. So down below, I'm going to have a lot of the collection and stuff, but this level is going to be where our smelteries are. So, and actually, I need to eat also. I just noticed that. So let me go get a silkworm. Not really carrying food with me, so let's get a silkworm. And they're so hard to see, but they're great food. And a couple apples, which I thought were in there. Here they are. So a couple apples. Let's eat. Oh, that's it. All right. So let's go out 1 more, I think. Let's see. I kind of want to center it on this. We'll just make this one thing. And probably I'll have, like, I'm thinking maybe going for like a town theme. Like where this is going to be a town with separate buildings. And this over here will be where the forge is. And so yeah, we'll center it right here. This is going to be where our smeltery is. So we'll put this. And we're going to do a 3x3 footprint for a smeltery. So let's go here. And if I have enough, I'm going to do it too wide, or too high, so I get a little more volume out of it. I think I made enough to do that, but we'll make a 1, and then I'm going to do most of my work on this level, and then I'll have my drains on the second level. So what we're going to need is we're going to need a controller. So that's just this square. We're going to need a tank, which if I put glass in here, I get a tank. We're going to need a couple spouts, which I think are this way. I don't need channels for anything. Yeah, faucets. I always call them a spout, but it's the bucket shape. A couple faucets. We're going to need 2 drains. 1 for my table and 1 for my casting basin. And speaking of a casting basin, we'll need a casting basin. And we'll need a casting table. Right, so that makes us where we have pretty much everything we need. And then I'm going to make a slew of bricks. So let's do a couple of these. And let's just see where we end up. I'll save some seared bricks just in case we need them. I'm also going to need them to do an ingot cast. So we're not going to use them all up right now. So let's go ahead and make our first smeltery. And we probably want to go ahead and light this because I might forget to do that later. So we're going to do that. And let's take a couple. Let's go ahead and make this into a platform that's that far back. And probably one around it too. So we'll come out here. And this cobblestone will be replaced as well. I don't like to build with cobble. I don't like to build with the basic woods. It just looks better, I think. And once you've gotten to the point where you're getting all these resources automatically, you might as well make your building look good. That's the way I feel. So, okay, that looks good. It's nice and centered. Will work fine. I'm going to do 2 more rows in the back just to make sure we've got room to work and we don't fall off when we're messing with the smeltery. Can certainly happen. So here we go. And that should be great. So now, here's where we do our magic. Let's take our controller, which I actually like that to be on up a level. So let's see if we can... Well, that's the thing, is I don't know if I have enough. I'm going to need 12 blocks for each level. So let's put this in and see if I have 24 left. It should be fine. With the extra blocks, that should be good. So I'm going to do 3 around here, 3 around here, 3 around here, 3 around here. And then we'll take our controller. I like everything to kind of be at eye level. So my controller will be here. The basin here. The casting table here. And then we'll put our drains in front of them. So they'll go down into the tables. We'll go ahead and put our faucets on the drains. And this might as well be somewhere accessible here. So I can put buckets in there because I'm going to be feeding it manually for the time being. And then we'll go around this way with the bricks. So there we go. That looks good, and we got good volume there. And I've been actually going through here and creating buckets of lava. So we have 4 built up. So I can put one of these in here so we've got some fuel. So that's ready to go. And another thing I wanted to do is get lava going a little faster. So there's a couple things we need to do for that. One, I need to make some netherrack. And the recipe for netherrack is a lava bucket into like a stone barrel, and then you take redstone and add it. So I'm going to have to create some stone barrels, which I am prepared for. So I have some smooth stone right here that I cooked up while I was on break. And then we'll do this. And we'll go like this. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? Let's do it. Let's shift so we know how many we can make. We really only need 1, but they're handy, so we'll put them there. I'm going to put it for now. Let's go ahead and build this side out a little bit, and this is where we'll put our lava. And I've got 3 crucibles made, including the one I've already got out there. So what I'm going to do is line it up with that. And I'm going to have to put netherrack blocks down there. And that's just so I can get fire as opposed to a torch under it, which is much faster. So it's really just for speed of generating them. And I want to get it far enough away that the fire's not going to spread to that wood platform, because that's the whole point of building this out like this. So that's where our netherrack's going to be. And where are my barrels? I'm going to take my barrels and put them here for now. And we're going to take our buckets of lava. Do I have 3 left? I do. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to take 3 pieces of redstone, which another thing I did was I sifted a couple stacks. I sifted a stack of powder, dust, which is in here, so I've got plenty of redstone. I did that while I was off camera because that's boring to watch, but you can see I've got the results of an entire stack sifted, and then I did gravel here, which gave me some diamonds and some emeralds, some pretty important resources. So I wanted to go ahead and get a head start on that, so I've got those sifted out. So we're going to take the redstone here and turn these into netherrack. And then I'm going to have to make flint and steel. So there's our netherrack. And we'll take our netherrack here. And I don't know if I have enough in here to do anything else. So yeah, see, it's only at 502 millibuckets, which is a half a bucket. It's not enough to worry about. So we're just going to take this, break it, and I've got another 2 of these. Oh, actually, I already have them in my inventory that I've already cooked up. And I just did that to save some time. So we're going to put this here. We've got to put this where it'll be over the fire. So there's our crucibles. And one thing I might do once I get some piping is put it where it pipes these in. But for now, we're just going to get it there so we have something where I can just feed in some cobblestone and it'll burn pretty quickly. So let's make a flint and steel, which I think I have an iron over here, and I definitely have flint from all the sifting. So let's make that. And let's start these up. And how am I on cobble? A little bit low from all the building. So we'll get another stack of cobble. And very soon I'm going to have just pipes that feed these. And actually my power goal is going to be creating these, automating some lava, because I'm going to be end up using lava generators anyways for my first power source. So if you look those up, if you haven't seen them before, they're handy because you can set up. There's multiple tiers to them. So you can build this. It's not that expensive, especially when you're auto-sifting. So my first goal is going to be setting up an auto-sifting system and start to produce these lava generators. Even if I have to do this first part manually to get the first one going. And then once you start going up in tiers, you can use them to go further up. So like you get into this tier, and then you can use that tier to go further up into this tier. And they generate a ton of power, so you can continue to build on what you already have. So that's what I'm going to use for power, and so that will probably end up being the next step. So I've got my smeltery built. We've got our lava starting to burn out, and as you can see, we've already got almost a half a bucket in these, so this is much faster than over a torch. So we're going to call this part here. I'm going to go ahead probably next and build my little thing over here once I get everything together for that. We'll build a little house and make it where we can control day and night. And then our next step will probably be getting into automation of generating cobble. And then from that we'll get gravel, sand, dust. Really getting the automation portion. So that's a fun part for me. So hopefully that's going to be a little more exciting to watch. So we will be back shortly with construction of the house. Alright, we're back, and we are going to start with our house construction. That way we can get out of the rain and turn night to day. Those are both kind of important, especially if the rain is annoying to you like it is to me. So probably not a very critical priority, but something I want to get knocked out anyway. So we're going to do that now. And I've got everything I need here to do it. My plan is to use stone bricks as the foundation, and probably stone brick stairs as the roof, and then the rest of the house is going to be made out of regular brick. So this will kind of look like a cinder block wall, and I'm going to do 7 by 6. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, if I could actually count right, and not miss. Ooh, that is broken. Let me fix that real quick. Should have everything I need for that here. There we go. Hopefully I get this back. If I don't, not the end of the world. Okay, and then we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we want to do this by 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So that should be 6. Well, it's going to work out just perfectly with the foundation. Okay. Then let's go ahead and make our brick walls. So the doorway is going to be right there. I want to do a window right there. And we'll do a window right there. And I've got more glass cooking for that. So windows there. and there. So that's a double window. There we go. And we can also use that to step up. And then we'll do this across the top. Like so. There we go. And let's do a couple torches inside since it's going to be dark. There we go. That should be well enough lit. And then we're going to put a couple in front of the doors. Same thing. We don't want to get spawns while we're building, especially if we get a skeleton or something to jump up on us. This would be a bad time. So we're going to now lay the roof. Now I might embellish this a little later, but for now this is going to have to do. And I want smooth stone, which I may regret that decision to put smooth stone here, but I can always play with the chisel and see if I can embellish it a little further. But for now, we're just trying to get a roof over our heads and somewhere where we're able to put our spawn point. So this should give us good visibility and will work just fine. So let's do the same thing over here. Too high, one high, and that should work. So let's do the peak of the roof. Like so, and we'll do the other side. Now once we finish this house, I am probably going to start working on metals because I want to get into automation, and you need metals to make pipes, you need metals to do just about everything. So my goal is going to be automating sifting after I automate pulverizing cobble into everything to sift. And the resources I want to sift are the basics as far as gravel, sand, dust, and I also want to get soul sand, which there is a recipe for. So we're going to work on that next. Let me see if I'm getting any spawns up here. I don't think I can because of the stairs, but I'm going to get a light over here just to be sure. Well, you know what, I'm going to do it from the side just because I'm not trusting that it'll actually keep me on the platform. Oh, I need a smooth stone there. Okay, and let's go ahead and put one here. And take a dangerous walk out there. And same thing. There, up there, and there. Okay, so that should give me plenty of light. And then we're going to put a door, which is wonderful. And put our bed down. You know what, let's make, oh, you know what, I've got to put some glass in, and I cooked a little more up just to be sure I had enough. So let's give us some visibility outside, which right now is just going to be looking at space, which is kind of cool actually. It's like the house on the edge of the universe type thing, but eventually I'll have this surrounded by grass, and this will be more like a rolling hillside with town kind of in this area. So let's close the door and let's sleep for our first night in our new house. There we go. So we now have our little hut kind of finished. It's not perfect, but it'll work. And next time what we're going to do is I'm going to work on metals a little bit like I was talking about. So I'm going to get a little more sifting done off camera to get some more metals built up, and I'll probably melt some of our first ores. I don't know if you guys know how to do that. Just in case, we'll go over it real fast. If I wanted to melt iron, I would take 4 of these, and then I would form that into an iron gravel, and this will be formed into 2 ingots worth of liquid in the smeltery, just in case you haven't seen it. That's all I'm going to show on it. You can do it with all of the metals, and if you need more detail, I'll be glad to go on that, but for now we'll just leave it at that. So that will melt down into iron, liquid iron. So we're gonna get enough of this going because I don't want to sit here and watch this stuff burn, because you can see it takes a while. So I'm gonna get enough of that going off camera, and when I get back we'll get started on the automation pieces. So we'll be here with that shortly. Okay, we're back, and we've only got a little bit of time left in this episode, so I wanted to get a few little things done. I've already started to make our metal blocks, which have been just by melting the metal in the smeltery and using this casting basin. And I've got a few metals in here that I've started. I want to get a couple casts made that I'm going to be using for most everything, and we're going to get a little bit of automation done on this lava, just partially automating it. So first things first, let's get the cast done. I've got some aluminum brass in here, and I want to get our basic casting done. And then I've got enough here. Once I get an ingot cast, I'll be able to make the ingots and stuff for the first engine. So let's get started on that. So I should get a brick to make the ingot cast, and I also need to make a gear. So let's start with that first. Oh, and an extra brick. There's a seared brick. We can use that for the ingot cast. And looking ahead, I'm actually going to need to make some machine frames. So like if I want to make a basic machine frame, I think it's called a machine frame. It might be a machine block. But this second machine block, if I want to make a hard machine block, I need to make an electrum gear. So I'm going to go ahead and make one of those to make my cast out of. It's just kind of looking ahead. So I need some electrum, which I've got a block in here for it, and I also have a block for iron. So we'll turn this into ingots, and then we'll go back and we'll craft an electrum gear. Out of that. Okay, so that we can use to cast. So what we need to do is use our aluminum brass or gold to make those. Most people have seen this before, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it just like before. But we're going to go ahead and make these into our cast. There's my gear cast. We're going to use that because that saves metal every time we use it. And then let's make the ingot cast too. That's what we're going to use to, if we have just less than a block's worth in here, to make our ingots. So we're going to be using that now. And let's go ahead and make some gold. I want to make 5 of these because I want to be able to make my lava generator this time. I'm going to make my first one of those, which is fairly easy to make once you get the 5 gold together. So we've got 2 more to go after this. And I'm going to go ahead and grab the block of iron out of here that I need for that as well. So there's our 5 gold. We need 2 redstone and we need a furnace. Fairly easy to make. So let's go ahead and make the furnace. And we'll go ahead and make a bunch of these because we're going to need them to make the other ones, even though we may not make them right now. It'll be good to have them handy. And 2 redstone. So let's make our lava generator. So lava. There's that. We have one of those done. We're going to make much more of those, probably off camera, but just to show that we have the resources we need to do that and we can get basic power. So let's make the piping to get stuff here, and that's going to be, let's just look up duct. That's what I like to do because it brings them all up. And we need this hardened fluid duct because it's used to transport hot liquids. So we need 1 lead and 2 Invar, which I've already made an Invar block as well, to make that a little quicker. So let's go ahead and get that into ingot form, and let's get our lead block, which I also have handy. Okay, so let's go ahead and make, and while we're doing it, we're also going to need 10, because I want to get leadstone flux duct, because this is going to be our basic power for now, which uses more lead and some glass. And then I also want an opaque item duct, which should be right there. 1 lead and 2 tin. So let's get some tin as well. I have a 10 block ready. And we're going to make about 1 stack of 6 of each of those, just to get us started. So let's go ahead and make the item duct. I'm going to need more redstone. We'll just bring it all over, and let's get some glass, which I think I have over here in the building, or I already have it in my inventory. I do. So let's get our leadstone flux duct, which we just want 1 of those for now. And that's how we're going to power our machines. And then let's do the fluid duct. There's temperate fluid duct. It'll be this one, hardened fluid duct. We've got enough for those. And we have enough to make more, but let's just see where we are, because I want to put those in. And we're also going to need some servos. And that's going to be to move the items without redstone signals or anything like that. We're going to use a servo for that. So I need to make probably quite a few of these. So let's just go ahead and go get some iron, and we'll make it out of the rest of our iron for now. And there will be more of this we'll get off camera. But I'm going to get a lot of this before next episode, but this is enough to at least get us started. So let's make some servos. So I need some iron nuggets. Let's get a couple of those turned into nuggets. And that should be more than enough. So let's get 10 servos. And we'll save the rest just so we have a little extra. So what we're going to do is I'm going to set my item ducts. And you know what I need? I also need a wrench. So let's do a crescent. Crescent. This wrench right here. We have what we need for that, and that allows us to configure these pipes. So item ducts are going to be on top. For now, I'm going to set just the chest on top of here. That's going to be one more thing we're going to need. I've already put that in there, so let's take a single chest. I'm going to put all of our cobblestone in that. So let's put that on top. If I could jump and hit it. There we go. And we're going to configure this with a servo. That makes it where it's going to auto extract. We should be done with item ducts, and we're going to set this to activate with no control. So that means it's always powered. So no matter what we put in here, if we put cobblestone up top in here, which of course I don't have any handy because I used it for making those, but let's take a stack of it, and we'll put a stack of cobble up here. And next time we'll be automating that, but that'll allow it to feed down in, and as you can see, these will start to tick up. You should have solid volume. Yep, see it's going up with that crucible. So it'll feed down in through those pipes. And then I'm going to take my fluid duct, and I'm going to come off this side. And I'm going to go ahead and move this guy over here. So I think I can shift, or actually I think I can take this with a pickaxe. Yep. And I'll put this under here. So that'll feed into there once I've got this feeding lava out. So I need to put some servos on these. And I'm going to take them and turn them to no redstone control, which will allow them to feed out into here. So that's now getting lava. So that's going to make it where we can generate some RF, and then what I'm going to do is take this flux duct and probably make it where it goes along here. And that'll make it where anytime I put a machine on this, it'll get power. So that's what I basically wanted to get accomplished with this, the end of this episode, was just getting power started. And next episode I'm probably going to automate this cobblestone, where it's going to be coming from a transfer node and into some sort of the cache, I think is they're called. I think they're called caches in this version. They used to be barrels, and I'll probably put it into that. Ultimately this is going to be through an ME system, which we're getting pretty close to being able to start. But next episode I'm going to be working on automating gravel, sand, dust, and we'll see if we can get to soul sand. That might be a lot to get through in one episode. But we've got our metals going, and we've got our basic ducting going. So I'm going to call this episode here, and between episodes I will get a bunch of resources sifted, and we'll get into the automation of everything starting next episode. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.